Welcome to the DFMI Business Lab podcast, brought to you by the Durban Film Art Institute, presented in partnership with DW Academy, supported by the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. DFMI Business Lab podcast draws inspiration from the 18-week online program which focuses on the business elements of filmmaking, aimed at equipping film producers with the skills to grow their careers. Our host today is Muhummad Taymour, who is an alumni of the DFMI Business Lab.
Hello again. This is DFMI Business Lab podcast. My name is Muhummad Taymour. I'm a film producer, and previously I've been involved with Durban Film Art. In 2019, I was pitching as a producer in the market, and also I've been part of Durban DFM Business Lab 2 years ago, and recently I've been participating also as one of the future mentors in the Future Mentors Workshop in Tunisia. I'm here to welcome Claire Diao, and she is going to introduce herself. And yeah, hi Claire, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. My name is Claire Diao. I'm a French-Burkinabè film critic, programmer, and distributor. I was a Durban talent back in 2012 as a film critic, and I'm still in love with Durban Film Art, Durban Talent Program. So I've been selecting talents with them. I've been mentoring the Film Critics Talent Press participants. I've been attending all the Durban Film Art session as well to the pitch session, also with my programmer's hat. And yes, I started with a short film touring program in 2013 called Quartiers Lointains, Distant Neighborhoods, and a film critic, a Pan-African film critic magazine bilingual French and English, AWOTELE, in 2015, and I launched a sales and distribution company called Sudu Connexion back in 2016.
Okay, Claire, I think we going to speak in this episode about maybe in details, maybe one by one, about the distribution channels. But first of all, I want to reflect on the previous episode, actually, like when we were speaking about how to find the perfect distributor, or how to select also your distributor that is going to be your partner in the film. Because in Egypt, I want to share something with you. Like, we all the time like trying to find alternative ways of distribution, also, like other than the main channels that most known. So, for example, we have sometimes we create films for like a certain part of Egypt. Like, for example, like we know that the audience that will reflect on this film is coming from Upper Egypt. So it's basically like trying to find this kind of people, like trying to find your audience. So we travel with the film and we try to distribute it like in very small villages across Egypt. So this kind of distribution also, I found it very successfully, because it's really it might not like bring you the money that you spend on the film, but also it might bring you the right audience for the film. And you basically, this is what we need as filmmakers to reach our voices to the right audience. How do you reflect on this, like trying to find other way of distribution and alternative distribution like all over the world?
It's exactly what you say. We need, as I said earlier in the previous podcast, there is no one recipe for films. It's really, you have to adapt. Is it a short film? Is it a feature? Is it a documentary? Is it a narrative? Is it a drama? Is it a comedy? It's all the time different. Which language is spoken? Do you have subtitles? Will the audience agree to read subtitles? Do you need to dub the films? So, for example, we don't dub the film because we don't have any structure support. So we don't have fundings, external fundings to dub the films. And so far, we never worked with producers who have dubbed their own films. So all these aspects are influencing the strategy you can have to distribute films. What I should say regarding the continents, and definitely there are different audiences in different countries, and all the the cultural offer is stuck in the main capital, while people in the rural zones and so on are so much looking for it. Like I remember doing open air screenings in Kai in Mali back in 2008, and the open air screenings between 3 villages. At the beginning, there was no one, just music playing, some clips to attract people. And when the film started, there were 2,000 people standing up for the entire film, laughing at the same time, reacting at the same time. I really had the good goons. And I was like, oh my God, this is cinema. I mean, this is the magic of cinema that we have lost. And I think the difficulty is how to connect like capitals and or other rural places. And maybe that's also our idea with the Sudu Academy, is maybe if we rerun the same program in the same countries, we will try to find people living in other city than the capital, who will try to build their own network, audience, and just, then it will be a matter of how to distribute the film from the capital to the other places, because I think it's really important, and this is where you have an audience really reactive, because they have a big lack of cultural offer, so they are more open to what's coming on. Now we have to think about, of course, how to sell tickets, how they can buy tickets, and how you can follow up the sales. Be sure that you have, numbered tickets, and we can have that, because what is missing a lot as well is this. If we just show films and we don't really know the amount, we don't really know the numbers, it's complicated to have facts and figures. While we need that to enter the business, as we said in the previous episodes, when we are facing a world industry made about money, economy, and business, and we are all the artists, not taking notes, not taking feedbacks about the data, it's quite complicated to prove that we have done this, we have done that, and we have to go step by step on this stage.
Yeah, okay. So like an opening question also for the distribution channels, since we know all that festivals are not the main target, like for getting our fees or our money back, I mean like the revenue and everything, like if you are lucky you can get an award, and if you are more lucky it will be like a prize with like some money from the award. But I mean like what do you think about the best way or the best distribution channel that we have to seek as filmmakers to get our money back, or how do we target the most distribution channel that can allow us to get some money from what we invested?
Sometimes, usually it's super hard to recoup the entire budget of the film, but I would say TV sales are mostly the one giving money. It takes a long time, and it requests you to be really serious in terms of delivery, because they will need specific technical things. So do you have the lab which can manage to do that in your country? Do you have to work with a foreign lab to make the deliveries? Will you fit all the credentials and requests they will have? Or will you spend more money to complete your film as they expect it to be on the RTD? But yes, outside these technical aspects and the fact that they take time to pay you, they are giving good money for films. Not all the TVs, and sometimes you're not in position. Usually, you're not in position to negotiate. They are the one having a fee, so it can be a flat fee, it can be a fee per minute. It depends on the program, it depends on the career of the film, and so on. But yes, I think it's a good thing for revenues. VOD platforms, I never sold to big platforms like Netflix, Amazon, and so on. I think if you're lucky enough to sell something to them, of course, it would be good money because it's worldwide. But when we talk about local streaming platform, it's quite complicated. They don't pay any MG, minimum guarantee. Usually when you ask for data, they don't have any data to give you. So they just want the content to feed the platform, but they have no proof of what will be interesting for you in terms of revenues. And then you have universities as well where you can sell some films to the libraries. So it's a lot of work to reach them and find the buyers and sell the film to them, but it can work. As I said, theatrical distribution depends on the film. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes not. And usually you spend more money promoting the film and releasing the film than really in terms of revenues and ticket sales. So that's also a pity that we are facing, and I mean it for art house cinema, because people are really more into entertainment, blockbusters and commercial films. You can have flights where you can sell to flight companies your film. It's not that much money, but if you have various sales, then it's interesting as well. And screening fees with festivals. I mean, with Sudu Connexion, we are really successful with it because we push a lot. My argument is always like, if you do have a film festival, there is the word film in it. So if you do your film festival without any film, how can you run your festival? So if you receive grants and fundings, why didn't you budget a line to pay for the films? It's not only, oh, you're lucky, we're going to screen your film, nice audience, or we're going to invite the director and so on. So for short films, it's always this kind of thing. For feature film as well sometimes. But yes, there are many. I'm happy to see that the world is big, and some people work like everything on a free basis and so on. But there are many people paying for it as well, recognizing the work and that the author, the producer needs some revenues back. So yes, it's also something where you can get money.
Okay, so I'm gonna speak about the TV channels maybe at the beginning, because I was convinced most of the time that if I'm going to be like, if I want to deal with, for example, Canal Plus or like Arte or something, so I should like find a co-producer from France. This is like a myth or something that we believe in, but I'm not sure if it's right, if it's okay. But also, I think it's a shortcut, like trying to find these people is trying to find like a co-production from France. Maybe it will like shorten the way to reach these kind of entities or TV channels. I'm not sure what you say about this, because I know that we talked about this in the previous episode, but also, again, it's something that I really believe in, and many people believe that they try to find the co-production that will get us to these international recognition from TV channels, because most of the TV channels that may be interested maybe also in the short films, they are like, we know that from France, from Germany, like from Europe also. So how do you think about this? Like, do they, like in these channels, they also try to make a survey about like usual filmmakers without co-productions coming from Africa, from the Middle East, or do they also like try to prefer people that they know or they worked with before or something like this?
So yes, of course, it can help to have someone represented in a country where is the, let's say, TV company, for example. It's not all the time necessary. What feedbacks I had at the time before even I launched my company was like, they were missing a link. They wanted someone to partner with, which were not directly the producers, which was in fact a distributor. And they were looking for a distributor who will take care of the films, of the delivery, of everything. They're sure about it, and then they deal directly. They don't want to have tons of emails to exchange about each subject. Like, it will work like this, they want someone, they talk to them, they know we agree on the film, and then let's move on. So yes, for some will request that you have the partner in the country, some other not necessarily. It really depends, I would say, from channel to channel, from project to project.
Okay, and for the airlines, I think it's really one of the most underrated kind of sale that we don't use. I don't know why, but I mean, like, sometimes filmmakers or producers, they think they pay a lot of less money, or they like very few amount of money. But I think that the smart way also is try to find like multiple kind of airlines that they cannot have these kind of exclusive contract for your film, and thus you will try to be like having a small amount of monies, but from different entities that will collect you something. Do you think it's easy to contact also with these like airlines? I'm not sure what is the best way. Like, do I have to find the sales agent who will be like responsible for this, or also from your experience, do you think that they are accessible to like young filmmakers or like normal filmmakers without a distribution like distribution company on board?
No, because even me as a distributor, I fought for years to find the right contacts to be able to sell films. No, it's a nightmare. If you go on their website, you will have just the generic, general email address. And if you reach out, no one will answer. If you go in the plane and ask the steward, like, where can I put my film? They will not know who to recommend to you. So no, it's really hard. I don't know why is it so secret, this in-flight word. But I think for me, it's a matter of representation. And of course, I'm looking into incomes on one side, but what I want is to increase the visibility of African cinemas and the variety of African cinemas. So when I take a plane which is doing and covering African territories in terms of flights, and they don't have any title, or they just have few from this region and not the others, I'm really wondering who's behind, who's selecting films, and what's going on. But when I meet them, sometimes it's like, oh, we don't receive this kind of proposal. So I don't even know if they really scout for projects, or if they're just lazy looking at catalogs, working with the same people for many years, and they just, take what's coming on. Maybe they reach out to some major films which have been in international film festival and so on, because this is mostly what you see when you are seated in the plane. But I think it's really, really important to push, and I think the next work and the next fight will be also to get out of this word cinema case. What is this? I mean, it's a catalog of films. Please put us by genre, comedy, drama, whatever. But why do we have to go inside the word cinema genre to find the African cinema and then to find? No, it means that the viewer has more click to do to access to your film. And this is not possible. They should highlight, even if they are traveling in a film festival, they should push. But I don't want to go into politics, but I think it's also a fight that all our government should have. Like, if you agree that a company is coming to your country, why don't you push to have a certain quota of local films playing in the company? And they should highlight it when they come. Like, I'm flying to Egypt, I want to have an Egyptian film on the first page when I opened this video set. So it's something that is always forgotten, but I think it's necessary to fight for it.
I want to share something also, because when I was in Clermont-Ferrand, and I was amazed by the scale of the market there, and it's only for short films. Whenever I was walking in and trying to pitch my feature film, they don't listen, and I was so happy that there is a place for short films. They prove something. They prove that there is like a community, there is a market, there is a real market for short films, because all the time in Egypt we say that there is no market for short films, and that was a big mistake. I think when I've been in Clermont, I was amazed by the scale. And also I was struggling there to find like people from airlines. I've never seen anyone from, I don't know, British Airways, Qatar. I mean, like nobody. And there was like some representatives for the TV channels, but I've never seen anyone from the airlines. I think they have to tackle this problem, or to distribute for more. I mean, like it's a very, very secretive, that how they curate the program on the plane. I don't know how to invade this kind of system, but I mean, like, they are not accessible, and it's so hard to find them. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I was like convinced that I will find them maybe in Clermont short film market, but I've never seen them there also.
But it's really hard. I only sold one short to Ethiopian Airlines, by the way. But the other, they're not interested in shorts. They just focus on feature film.
Yeah.
And feature, it's also hard to sell a documentary feature.
Yeah. And okay, I'm going to shift for a question that I write before. So it's about the PR and what is the PR work that every filmmaker should consider while he is or she is doing the first film, and when to start working on the PR campaign, like as distribution or as marketing for the film.
Mm. So usually PR are really important when you do your world premiere, because it's the moment where you're going to talk about the film, people are going to hear about the film. So what is good is to have a kind of press kit where you will have all the information about your film. So of course, the synopsis or logline, some images, film stills, and please not screenshot from the editing room. If people can work with photographer on sets, that's way much better. High resolution images, not Facebook profile pixelized images. It's good to have the cast and crew list, really important to have all the people who worked on the film. Same thing for when it's a narrative film and you have a cast, it's really important to find a way to show them which is the first name and which is the final name, because sometimes we are just, we know it and it seems normal, but for some international people, they are not aware that this is a family name and this is a first name, so they can mix the names of the person. So the cast, of course, first name and family name, and then the name of the character, because same thing, it's not obvious for everyone that, I don't know, Muhammad is playing Tahar and Iman is playing Sophie. We need to have this kind of information. Of course, all the technical aspects. Is it color, black and white? Is it 4K, 2K? Is it available on DCP or not? Is it stereo sound? Is it Dolby Surround or 5.1? All of this is really important. The poster, it's good to work with a graphic designer. So I see it's improving a lot, I think, because of all the tutorial we have online and all the really creative people working. But I think it's really important, even for the producer, to think about all of these aspects, to put them in the budget plan from the beginning. Like this, they can have an amount of money for that. Of course, when you do the poster, don't forget all the logo of the partners. So ask them in advance, because sometimes it's a nightmare. You will have companies giving a lot of money, but having really terrible logo is pixelized as well, or really small, or that you cannot manage. So it's good to have them in advance. And the billing block is also something that everyone forgot about it, but it's really the block where you have all the credits with the name of the director and the team and the supporter and so on. It's hard to make it, but once you are doing your end credits of the film, it's easy to write it and to have it ready for when the poster will be done. And the poster can be made out of a picture of the film or inspired by the topic of the film. It can also be drawings and so on. So that's really important. It's important to have some film extracts, 1 to 3 extracts, really short, that you can share with the film festivals, for example, to have a trailer, of course, and you can also manage when you release it. Is it only for the opening of the premiere? Will you deal with, a trade magazine that will share exclusive the trailer to announce something when you sign with someone, or when you're going to get a theatrical distribution, for example? So yes, all those PR are really important. What is also missing on our continent is publicists. We don't have people dedicated to cinema, I guess because they won't have enough work and and they will need money to survive. But it's important to have someone who knows who to reach in which media. You have different media on print, web, radio, TV. And they need to know who is the person to contact. So, of course, you will not reach the guy writing about politics if you want to present your film. You need someone more with a cultural background. It's quite hard to find some film critics paid by journals and magazines. So it's good to know where they are. Are they a film critic organization? Are there some platforms, some blogs? And then with the publicist, usually you can write a press release and announce that your film will have a premiere and so on. But yes, it's a long journey as well. It's a lot of work. And from my film critic past, I can say that, yes, we are missing a lot of publicists on the continent who can help push the films. So when you go in international film festival, you see that directly that they are here, they're checking everything, they validate with you your synopsis, the images you're going to share, because it's really, don't share. If you have 12 pictures, don't share it from the first day. You need to use it for various campaigns, for various promotion. And usually it's 1 to 3 stills for the world premiere that people can use in their catalogs. And then from that, they can also manage all the interviews, the meetings. They will manage if there is a press conference. So they will really follow you. So PR is really essential to promote the film and to have people, the word of mouth of people talking about your film.
Thank you so much. Perfect. I think I will use the rest of the time that we have here, which is not very long. Speaking about programming, maybe I'm curious also about your role and with the Clermont-Ferrand and with TIFF also, of course. How do you manage to do the selection, and how do you speaking about the difference between also these two kind of different festivals, but when I started working with Guna Film Festival as a programmer for short films, I was asking myself all the time, how do I choose the films? Is it upon my taste, or I still have to know the right audience for this festival in order to pick the right or the most suitable kind of films? Because sometimes I've been in love with some certain films, but I've never selected them in the lineup, because I allowed myself to know the difference between loving the film and having this kind of some love for the film, but also at the same time it's not the right audience to watch. So how do you pick the films, and what is if you can introduce your also role with the two different kind of festivals?
Yes, thank you. For Clermont-Ferrand, as you said, it's really a festival that I love. It's maybe before Durban, because I started there as a youth jury member in 2010. That year it was Morocco, the country of honor. So I was really happy. And I've been joining them since 2016 as the African Perspective Selection Committee. So, and it's good to be clear with everyone, because people are like, oh, we don't like this section where we put African films out. And this is absolutely not the idea. So during the process of selection, every film related to Africa is sent to us. So we are almost 10 selecting films. And we do watch by pair. So we are 2 by 2. And so we watch every film, and we make a selection of films that we consider should go to the competitions. So international competition, national competition, or labo competition for experimental. Then there are other committees doing the selection. They will pick the film or not, and then they come back to us. Just for you to know, the international competition is mostly 72 or between 68 and 72 films, and you have maximum of 4 African films as part of it. So I'm fighting every year saying what we are talking about 54 countries now, and we just have this small amount, but it's also they receive tons of film from France, they receive tons of film from the United States, tons of film from China and Asia, and it's well, they have also to manage regarding the amount of film received. So we do then we have a list back of all the films that have not been selected, and we do a selection out of this to offer the opportunity to filmmakers and producers to be attending Clermont-Ferrand. Because as you said, it's a really big market, you can make fantastic connections, and even if it's a, let's say, parallel section, it's still a selection in Clermont-Ferrand, and it counts on your CV. So it's up to the filmmakers and producers to decide yes or no. Some can make their world premiere there, some will disagree, withdraw the film, try to go to Berlinale or do somewhere else. But usually it's really another opportunity we offer. What I changed when I arrived there, it was at the time, it was only film subtitled in French. because they had a partnership for subtitles and so on. And I was like, I'm sorry, but we have to get out of this colonialistic look, and we need to have the entire Africa. So for the recent years, we received tons of Egyptian shorts. So I completely agree on the fact that there are plenty of film shots in Egypt. And then we try to have a balance. So of course, there are the love at first sight, the film we really love, but we try to calculate, and it's stupid, but we are stuck with a 2 pages program. So we have a certain amount of minutes that we cannot exceed. And then we have to mix between the length of the films and the country of production. Like we cannot have 6 Egyptian films and then few others. We need to have a representativity of the entire continent, but still the quality counts. And it's also a big debate between all the programmers in the committee about which selection we do. So this is for Clermont-Ferrand. And for Toronto, as a program advisor, it's mostly, they send me only feature film, narrative feature. My colleagues from Docs sometimes reach out to me to ask me for advice about documentaries from Africa that they like, or they want another feedbacks. Short film, quite complicated. I tried this year too, but it was my first year. So I need to connect more with them, because I had a feeling to reach them too late. Like I understood that they were not watching everything. They had a lot of people watching for them. And then it's, the final row, they are checking the final row of films. So if the film I mentioned were not in this part, they had no clue about it. And then, yes, and then I watched, and maybe I was lucky this year. Some films made me cry, so I consider that if I cry, is I'm really moved, and we should definitely consider it. But usually, when I really love a film, then I push it to my senior programmer, who have a double check as well. And if we agree on this, we invite. But same thing, it was a pity. I had maybe 7 slots to invite films. Luckily, there are a lot of sections in Toronto which allow many films to be selected. So at the end, we had between 15 and 20 films coming from Africa and the Middle East, while I should have invited only 7. So it had to push, because of co-production, because, I don't know, best of fest, because it's a gala presentation, then you have many more. And I should say that, Middle East are really, really strong. They are really strong films. And we had a big lack of sub-Saharan good films this year. So it's also good to see the impact, because when you program, as you said, you want to have a representation of the entire continent. So you don't want to have only Arabic-speaking films. So you need to have other parts of the continent as well.
Yeah, I think it's very competitive also to be like accepted in Clermont and for TIFF also, of course. But the thing is that when I also get into the catalog of Clermont-Ferrand every year, I watch like the films that they didn't make it, and it's like quite like, I don't know, 9,000 submissions or something to Clermont. It's really big, and it takes a lot of time and challenge to find like this kind of program. I want to ask you something about the programming also, like your idea about, like, it's the same question that we were speaking about in the distribution, but how do we find like the future programmers? I'm not sure if you have any idea about this, but I was also like trying to wonder, how do we select the programmers themselves? It's a matter in Egypt. I think it's a matter of access, like being connected to the festival from the beginning. Somehow you worked in a certain department, or you were participating as like workshops manager or something, and then you showed that you have the interest to become part of the programming team, and then they choose you, and they try to work on why do you want to make this. But do you have any idea like how programmers also evolve in the industry of filmmaking? Like, how do we find them?
That's really interesting. That's a really interesting question, because so far I see that there is an evolution regarding Africa, because we do have more and more programmers, specialized in the African territories that you can reach in every film festival, and they are the representatives. And more they have an African background, because it's also a matter of perspective. Sometimes you have just the local person who is traveling a lot in Africa, and she's or he is the representative. But now I see more and more BIPOC programmers. I'm part of a network of BIPOC programmers, just to have also a reflection about how we struggle sometimes within selection committees to make our voice renowned, understand why this film, oh my God, this is awful. Why do you like that? It's like, because we have another perception, and sometimes it's complicated when you are with only, let's say, white programmers, European-based, European-focused, and you bring them something like they didn't even hear or they didn't even see in the film. So it's like sometimes you feel really alone when you fight for some films. But also you have to keep fighting for it. So from the external part and the general audience, no one knows it. And, you will still have angry producers of filmmaking, oh, you didn't select me there, but they don't even know what fight is inside, even to have few titles represented on screen. So that's one point. Then for the programmers, I don't know. I would say it's made out of passion, because it's not a work that pay really well. I see that many of them evolved, especially because I've been to the Directors Fortnight in Cannes. I see how career one move from one festival to another. So of course it's a network of programmers, festivals, and you work for this festival, so they call you for this festival. So it works like this. But I think, it's a good question how to interest other upcoming programmers. I know I was part of I think Screen International made you did Future Mentors. Me, I was like Future Leaders in Programming or something in 2018. Because of Directors Fortnight. And so this got many of us. And it's true that sometimes I read the magazine again to check the profiles. And yes, people are still continuing, and some of them become head of programming somewhere and so on. So that's interesting, but it's true that we are missing a lot of African programmers, while we do have many African film festivals on the continent. So maybe we should have more connection between the programming from the continent to the international stage, to have them more represented. But I also feel that there are a lot of guilt from Western festivals to, do not understand these territories, do not have connection there. So they are looking for other programmers to help them being connected and not attacked about the choices.
Yeah. I was curious, maybe by the end, how do you manage working as a distributor and programmer also at the same time? I mean, is there any kind of conflict in this? I mean, I'm working as a programmer, but also I'm a producer. So the films I produce, I do not select, of course, in the program that I'm programming. So by this, I try to, distribute the film somewhere else, other than Guna Film Festival, for example. But how do you manage working on both sides together? It's very interesting to know, how do you think about it also?
Same thing. I will never select the films I'm working on, but I do have films they want to go everywhere, so they will apply to Clermont, they will apply to Toronto, they will apply. So I will not it's a discussion with the committee, and I will not give any position on the films. If it's selected by the others, not by me. I step away from this. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have any films that you distribute that ending being in Clermont, or you have? I mean,
No, I do, but when it happens, it's absolutely not me who has selected it, because I refuse to give my voice. It's like I cannot be on both pages.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So it's double luck for them if they succeed in being selected.
Okay. So maybe the last thing I want to speak about is for distribution, back to distribution again. And for example, I'm working now on a commercial film in Egypt. I'm trying to be part of the production team and trying to also to understand how this kind of production model is working in Egypt. But the thing is that the company I'm working with also, they are trying to know who will be the distributor from the beginning. I'm like, they're trying to secure the money coming from the distributor from the beginning before we do the film, before we shoot the film. And this is very successful also, like guaranteeing that this film is going to have a success in like theaters, or like having a kind of certain kind of festival strategy or something like this. How far do you think this is like mandatory for making also independent films? That, I mean, like all the time we struggle to find the financing, we struggle to find the co-productions and the deals and everything, but it's not very common to think about who is going to distribute this film from the beginning, from the script. I mean, like before even shooting the film.
Yeah. As I say, it's good to search, review the lineups, the profiles, which kind of distribution, what have they done with other films, will it work, are there some similarities in terms of strategy that you would love to do, and maybe sometimes you will love the work they've done, but you will not love them as a humankind. So sometimes it will be the reverse. You love the person, but you're not sure about what they will propose. Of course, unfortunately, many of us don't have enough money to put a minimum guarantee, and I know that it's what many producers are looking for. But I think it should be a balance, because money is not always the solution. It's good on the budget plan and it's good for your bank account, but sometimes people putting money are not the one who will defend really well your project. Sometimes it's better to have someone who didn't put money, but they will fight hard for your film, and it will be traveling for many years. You don't want to be the smallest one in the big companies. You want to be the big one, even if it's a small company. So I think this is the important part. And then depending on the distributors, maybe they know you, maybe they worked with your previous film and they want to accompany you, so they will jump on at the script stage. Maybe they don't know you, they don't know the filmmaker, and they will wait for the rough cut stage. Maybe they wait for you to be selected in the lab. Maybe they wait for you to be to have your world premiere, to come back and, oh yeah, it's nice, I've seen that you've been selected. Can I have can I have the screener, please? I'm interested now. So yeah, you have all these kind of aspects. As I said, there is no one recipe. So, but it's good to have, and I think even for production plan, they ask more and more letter of intent of distribution, distribution strategy. I have many producers reaching out to me like, I have to apply. Can you please reread my project? So it's good, because it means that even the institution think about distribution strategy, that you're not just funding the film, you think about how to distribute it and make some incomes. But at the same time, it should be good if those institutions create some funds for distribution as well, because we need it to push the films.
Claire, thank you so much. I think that was a master class for me, like in distribution. I think it was really very beneficial, and for me, I think I can't wait to rewatch it and learn again from you. And I have so many things that I've really like learned and taking notes by it. And then thank you so much. That was very useful. I think also whoever listening to us will get to know like more about the things that you have also provided, like special kind of notes, and they will just dig about more things that you have said. I hope you enjoyed also the episodes, and we're gonna see you soon, of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the interview, and thank you, Durban Film Art, for everything, and for promoting and fostering all the talent for the continent for such a long time.
Thank you, Durban Film Art. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We hope that you learned something new, or that you felt compelled to further interrogate your professional practice. Never miss an episode. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, or sign up to filmart.africa for exclusive video content from this episode, where the African film industry unites.